has been suggested to me that as my memories are of rather far-away things, it would be wise for me to introduce myself before relating events that would be less familiar to this present generation than to my own. After a long life spent in Dublin and filled with Irish interests and Irish people, it is a little strange to me to remember that I was born and brought up in the south of France and never came to Ireland until I was nearly grown up. My brothers and I went to school with French children, played with French children, and were very happy with them. But we were intensely conscious of our nationality and fiercely determined that no one should be left in ignorance of the fact that we were Irish. Sometimes they would shame us by asking us, "Why do you speak English among yourselves?" And we were too ignorant to give them the true answer. In 1907, I realized my great wish and came to live in Ireland, at first to attend the university. Girls did not usually follow the lectures in University College, but went to some of the houses that provided courses for them and prepared them for the university examinations. From that time, the wish to be an Irish speaker never left me. Nis hula sib galéir kaint páric ach píris, nar hula, a calíní mór ein chum a well. Nuair a bhí sesin óg chur sé scoil bun na buchalí, agus an son tar éis cúpla bliain chuaigh sé amach leis na buchalí go dtí scoil an a mhór I Rafarnán. Agus an áit raibh an scoil I dosach, dag sé teach le scoil calíní, agus curú scoil ide bun an sin. Agus áhairí an tail a greideach sibh sin, sara roscoil bhríde an in nechar, bhí mise a múna I scoil an fírsig. Well, bhí mé ógan Thompson, ní rá ein scoil bhríde agam, agus ba mhóran an óir é sin, bhé a múna fé cuaram an fírsig. He remained principal of the school himself and came over once a fortnight to give lectures in Irish history. That was Scoil Ida in 1910. It lasted only 2 years, and I was there the second year. But the preparations for 1916 were calling for more and more of the headmaster's time and thoughts, and one school was all he could afford to give his attention to. And so, at the end of 1912, St. Ita's was closed. When the volunteers began to organize through the country, we had started coming among and hoped to make ourselves useful when the time should come. There would be a rebellion sometime, probably soon. I knew no more than that. And at Easter 1916, on Monday, the news was rushed about. The volunteers had taken the GPO. They were in possession of several other places in the city. I determined to go and find out for myself. And I made my way to the GPO and asked the volunteer on guard to let me in to speak to Padraig Pearse, who was the only one of the leaders that I knew personally. I was brought to Pearse and had the temerity to tell him that I thought the rebellion was very wrong, as it would certainly fail, but that I wished to be there if there was going to be anything doing. He sent me up to the top floor of the house where the kitchen regions were, and I spent the week there. I was still very anxious to do something about the language, and in the spring of 1917, my great friend Annie McHugh and I decided to open a secondary school for girls where the children would be made Irish speakers. It was something of an adventure, for Catholic lay schools were very rare, and those where Irish had its proper place were unknown, at least in Dublin. But we had ideals and good qualifications, plenty of self-confidence and some very kind friends. We opened Scoil Bríde in 70 Stephen's Green in September 1917 with a staff of 5 and 12 pupils, whose numbers grew to be nearly 100 before the end of the year.
Bunnig Luise Scoil Bríde in 1970. Rugga Luise Governor Nicofic Sarang. Is Scoil Bríde an Céad Gael School sa tír.
Scoil Bríde had moved from Stephen's Green to nearby Earlsford Terrace, but its building there was unsuitable and an alternative site had to be found.
Next year, the school is to be moved to Collinswood House, Oakley Road, the home of Padraig Pearse's girls' school. This prospect fills me with joy, and I pray that the spirit of that first founder will not desert the school which has tried to carry on his tradition.
Well, nish shinen rod inter be Scoil Bríde ag astrú gadi an teach céine a rá scoilíde an fadó.
Here in the grounds of Collinswood House, where Padraig Pearse had his first school, Scoil Bríde moved into a new purpose-built building. Today there are 165 pupils. The future of the school looks secure.
That we are here celebrating Louise Gaffin Duffy, foundress of Scoil Bríde, im le clia céad bliain comóra.
Dina cancer, pegar féidirléh géir úrand. Dina má, dina nefa féin, agus dina green.
Absolutely marvellous woman.
Tá breis is 10 bliain ó chorú Scoil Bríde bun. Ní ra siú sé an saoil an Thompson. Ach bhí béidir go raibh cuid dúr náiricha agus bhúr máiricha scoilán. Well, tharla sé sin fad ó hin, agus ó hin I léit an na páistí a teacht an só agus a fólam na Gaeilge mar is óldíh. Tá sibse an inis, agus tá cuid na múntúirí agus cuid na cálíní os na bócailí imethe as an scoil mar na páistí fásta suas agus na múntúirí áirithe róéiste le bheith múna.
Scoil Bríde has been in existence now for over 40 years and still works on the lines that we planned for it. For myself, I have long given up teaching and watch with affectionate interest the fortunes of my old school and the activities of its past pupils in many walks of life. Some are priests and nuns at home or in the missions. Some are active in the lay apostolate. Some are eminent in the educational world. Many are happily married. They keep me in touch with the activities of the younger generation. Their problems are not the same as ours were. Our country is independent now, and our language is safe from extinction. But there is still an immense amount of work to be done in learning to use our independence wisely and profitably, and in spreading the love of the language and affecting its restoration to its rightful place in the life of the nation. I am proud and happy whenever I hear, as I often do, of the ways in which the past pupils of Scoil Bríde are lending a hand in the service of their country. Good night.